The country house. These sprawling estates served as the ultimate status symbol for the landed gentry, often acting as the primary seat of power for a wealthy family. Built with local stone and surrounded by thousands of acres of farmland, they were designed to be entirely self-sufficient ecosystems with their own stables, dairies, and tenant cottages. The architecture usually favored the Palladian style, emphasizing symmetry and grand proportions that could be seen from miles away across the rolling hills. The townhouse. During the London season, the elite moved from their rural estates into these narrow, vertical residences typically located in fashionable districts like Mayfair or Marylebone. Because space in the city was at a premium, these homes were built upward rather than outward, featuring a basement for the kitchens and a grand first floor, or piano nobile, for entertaining guests. The uniform brick facades and black iron railings created the iconic, orderly streetscapes that defined Regency London. The terrace house. These were essentially long rows of identical homes joined together to form a single, continuous architectural unit, often stretching an entire city block. While the wealthiest lived in the center of the terrace where the ornamentation was most grand, the professional middle class occupied the smaller units at the ends. This style allowed for a sense of palatial scale, even for those who only owned a small slice of the building, providing a prestigious appearance at a more manageable cost. The Crescent. This specialized form of housing was arranged in a sweeping semicircular curve, often overlooking a private park or communal garden. The most famous examples in cities like Bath used the curve to create a theatrical sense of space and light, ensuring that every resident had a clear view of the greenery. Living in a crescent was considered the height of sophistication, as the design intentionally blocked out the noise and clutter of the surrounding commercial streets. The villa. Inspired by the suburban retreats of ancient Rome, these detached or semi-detached homes were built on the outskirts of growing cities to provide a mix of urban convenience and rural fresh air. They were smaller and more intimate than country houses, often featuring large bay windows and wraparound verandas that encouraged a connection with nature. This style became particularly popular with the rising merchant class who wanted to escape the smog of the industrial centers without moving too far from their places of business. The Rectory. Situated near the local parish church, these substantial homes were provided for the Church of England clergy and their families. While they were not as opulent as the homes of the nobility, they were still grand enough to maintain the social standing of the rector, who was often a younger son of a wealthy family. The architecture was usually conservative and functional, featuring large libraries and parlors where the clergyman could receive members of the community. The cottage, or ney. This was a whimsical, stylized version of a rustic peasant dwelling, built by the wealthy as a romanticized escape from formal society. Despite their thatched roofs and timber framing, these ornamental cottages were surprisingly luxurious inside, featuring high ceilings and fine finishes. They were often placed in secluded corners of a larger estate to serve as a quiet place for reading, painting, or hosting informal tea parties away from the rigid etiquette of the main house. The parsonage. Much like a rectory, this home was designated for a member of the clergy, but it was often more modest in scale and found in smaller or poorer parishes. These houses were central to village life, acting as a bridge between the wealthy landowners and the working laborers. The design focused on practicality and durability, with a small garden for growing vegetables and a sturdy stone or brick exterior that could withstand the elements over many decades.